What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another review. And it's the much anticipated The Batman. Finally got to watch it, and let's do this. Now, to start it all off, I will say this. This is one of the most unique Batman movies I've ever seen. Yes, it is a blend, a lot of the other ideas that are out there and what we've seen before in Batman movies, and it also takes a lot of inspiration from Seven. If you've not watched that movie, and when you watch this, if you have watched it, you'll see there are a lot of things that are very, very familiar in terms of how the story progresses. And based on how it was in Seven, it takes a lot of those ideas and put them in this one. And it actually works. For a Batman movie, it actually cleverly really works with this. The idea that Batman as a detective, and it also works because Batman in this movie is much younger than I think we've ever seen in any of the other movies. Even though in Batman Begins, Christian Bale's Batman, the Bruce Wayne that we saw was still much older. This is a really young Batman, and because of that, they literally show Bruce Wayne and Batman as really as one entity, as this one person. Bruce Wayne is at a time where he does not really know how to differentiate Batman and Bruce Wayne. And that is actually one of the issues that I had. Whereas Batman, Robert Pattinson, kills it. Literally, he owns this role. Any kind of doubts that you had before watching this could rest easy now. He owns the role. It is a different kind of a Batman, and he makes it his own. He's a very quiet Batman. When he speaks very little. There's not much dialogue to him. It's these straight eyes going at people, and he just looks, and the looks just say it all. The walk he has, the way he does things, the expressions, the voice, everything, it works. But when you go towards Bruce Wayne, I understand that he hasn't learned that yet. And there's actually a conversation in the movie where Alfred is basically telling him that, you need to be more Batman, and then you need to be more Bruce Wayne as well. So it makes sense why he is the way he is, where there's no literally differentiation between the two characters. But at least a smile here or there can work. It won't really go out of the character of Bruce Wayne or what they're trying to show, but he's literally so close to being Batman that at times you're like, there are moments in the film that one can really say that, oh, yeah, that guy is Batman. The way he's acting, the way he's quiet, the way he's walking around, you can kind of deduct it. But nevertheless, Robert Pattinson owns the role. It was a great departure from what we've seen before, and it actually reminded me a bit of Arkham Origins, the game. If you have played that game, you will see a lot of similarities between that character and the one that we see in the Batman. Catwoman also, again, is a very grounded Catwoman. You can also argue that Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises was extremely grounded. Again, the Batman Returns Catwoman still is one of the most, like, the Catwomanish Catwomans out there. Michelle Pfeiffer played her really, really well. But this is extremely different, extremely grounded, way more grounded than we've actually seen before. Again, this also goes into the action of the film. It's not really action. It's not built in a way that it's like, oh, it's an action scene. Great. It's very much threaded within the story itself, that it never really feels like an action scene that has to happen, but it's part of the story. And because of that, it's not like big set pieces, even though they are set pieces, but it feels like part of the story. There is, though, one sequence where I don't understand, and it is a plot hole in a way where a sequence happens, but it happens just for the sake of them doing an action scene, the way it starts. And I was literally like, you could reduce all this mayhem just if so you could just grab that guy while you were laying there. And you'll notice it. If you watch the movie, you'll notice that there is a sequence where they really just did it just because let's have a chase sequence, a cool chase sequence. So there was that. Riddler steals the show. That thing was freakishly amazing. And again, this is where the comparisons to Seven really jump in. It is gruesome, the stuff that he does. Also, it also reminded me of the Saw movies. Some of his traps and stuff were really well built. His plan was really well thought of. You could tell the dude was scary and just mentally sick in a way that things that he's doing and the reason he's going after these people made all sense, and the revelations towards the end, how everything kind of came to be, what he really is, also was great. Although the build-up that they had with all these plans and the way the movie ended, the ending was not as great as the movie itself. At the end, how it all wraps, it just happens. And based on what he has done, Riddler as a character and the idea that he was trying to push, it kind of goes away, and the event that happens, the climax, you just feel like, okay, well, you could have kind of just do that and that would have been the thing. And it kind of negate, like really, really nullifies what he has done so. The character does things, and the end, what the final thing that he does, it puts everything in a big picture. Whatever he's done so far and the ending, it all feels one and the same. Here, though, the ending and what he has been doing so far do not feel the same. It just feels like they just wanted to wrap up things. So this event that happens and it just things just wrap. And that's that. But the journey throughout was actually great. The action was extremely grounded. The characters were amazing. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon was actually hilarious. There are actually lines between him and Batman because they're like BFFs in this movie. It works. It's like Batman's only friend, really like a friend outside of this dark world is really Gordon. And those lines and things that they have between are actually really hilarious. And them going on these detective journeys together is amazing. So the movie actually for me is an amazing film. It's nitpicks in the story here and there. It's not perfect, but it should definitely be watched in the theater. I watched it in the IMAX and people were buzzing. I mean, more than half of the theater literally clapped the hell out when the movie ended. So people were loving it. The audience, everything was just great. The ambience, it was great. So it was a great movie, a great Robert Pattinson movie. Because yeah, people think he can't act, man. The dude can really act. Some of the elements with Bruce Wayne, the ending didn't really stick, but that was a hell of a good Batman movie. So that's kind of my take on this one. Are you planning to watch it, or have you already watched it? Leave a comment below. Let me know. And other than that, I want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for all the support. If you like these kind of casual reviews, there are a whole lot of others on the channel. Please go have a watch. Yeah, take it easy. Take care, and I'll catch you all soon. Until then, ta-ta, a cow.